The kitchen is all about community. It's about cooking and nutrition, giving kids skills for now, for the future, creating good things for the community and good things for life. Hello, I am Tavares Phillips. I'm joined by my friend Parker. We're in the GE Appliances kitchen, and today we are going to be making some great recipes for quite possibly the most important food day of the year, Thanksgiving. Who's ready to get started?
Me.
Okay, me too. Green bean casserole is one of my favorite Thanksgiving treats. It's creamy, it's dreamy, it has vegetables in it, but it doesn't feel like it has vegetables in it. But unfortunately, traditionally, it can be a little bit on the unhealthy side. So we are taking all the same flavors, all the same delight, and we're just lightening it up a bit. This is air-fried green bean casserole. Don't worry, there's still gonna be sauce. It starts with green beans. So these are haricots verts. Have you ever had a haricot vert?
Yeah.
It's just a skinny green bean, y'all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna air fry them so that it gets nice and tender. The crunch is gonna go away, but they're still gonna be a little bit firm, right? So to do that, we're gonna put on just a little bit of oil. In traditional green bean casserole, you would use cream and mushroom soup. But we're wanting to make something that's very, very from scratch, clean ingredients. So we're making our own flavor profiles of the cream and mushroom soup without the cream and mushroom soup. Give it a little, you're doing great. And now I'm gonna put in a little bit of salt. So now lift them out and put them in our air fryer basket. And then it's time to go into the air fryer, 450 degrees, until they're blistered and soft and tender and delicious, about 10 to 15 minutes. And so now we're gonna make the sauce, because you can't have casserole without sauce, right?
Yeah.
1 tablespoon of butter goes in. This is what's gonna thicken up our sauce. We're gonna take butter and flour in equal parts and make what's called a roux. Okay, now the next step is pretty important. This is when we're gonna pour in our milk. To do that though, we have to whisk it in without getting lumps. Okay. This is teamwork. You ready? Start the whisking process now, Parker. And we slowly whisk in so that we don't get lumps. And if you end up with lumps, it's not that big of a deal. Great job. Now, this is gonna come up to a simmer, and then we're gonna add in our cream cheese, but before then we're gonna add in a little bit of spice. What do you think that one is?
Garlic powder.
It is garlic powder. Good nose. What about that one?
Pepper.
Absolutely. So this is a half a teaspoon of pepper and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. You wanna put any of your dried herbs or seasonings or spices in before it thickens, because you wanna give those dried spices and herbs time to bloom and kind of release their flavor into your liquid. Okay, let's give it a little smell.
It smells amazing.
It smells amazing, right? So it's not thick yet though. It has to simmer. So the liquid has to come up to kind of a simmer or boil before it'll thicken. So now we just gotta wait. Okay, what's happening right now in there?
It is bubbling like crazy.
So now it's
I
time.
can see it starting to thicken up.
100% you can see that. Okay, it's time for the cream cheese. Okay, you gotta keep stirring to make sure that that cream cheese melts. It's easier if the cream cheese is room temperature. Would you say it looks creamy and dreamy, or just creamy?
Creamy and dreamy.
Me too, I would say that too. The last thing to do is to season it with just a little bit of salt. Parker, you nailed it. Look at that. Okay, so now it's time to plate. To plate, we put sauce on the bottom, green beans on top of that, so they kind of are swimming in all of our creamy, dreamy sauce. Fried onions always go on the top of green bean casserole. So we're gonna put just a few onto the top to garnish so that you get a little bit of crunch. And that is how you make air-fried green bean casserole. What do you think? I think that deserves a high five, Parker.